Rendlesham Forest, the Christmas night that unveiled the unknown. Christmas Eve, 1980. Deep in Rendlesham Forest, something happened that defied explanation. A strange craft, glowing symbols, and a message that would leave the world questioning. Are we alone in the universe? Tonight, we uncover the truth about the Rendlesham Forest UFO Incident. It was Christmas Eve, 1980. The Rendlesham Forest, nestled between two U.S. Air Force bases in Suffolk, England, stood cloaked in an icy stillness. Snowflakes glistened under the pale moonlight, and the sharp, biting air carried with it the faint scent of pine and earth. Despite the festivities of the season, the forest felt unnervingly quiet, as though holding its breath for what was to come. At RAF Woodbridge and RAF Bentwaters, the twin military bases on either side of the forest, the mood was subdued. Soldiers exchanged quiet Christmas greetings, some reminiscing about home, while others maintained their posts, oblivious to the strange events that would unfold that night. Shortly after midnight, a bright, pulsating light was seen cutting through the darkness of the forest. Airman First Class John Burroughs was the first to report it. "Sir, there's something out there," he said over the radio, his voice tinged with confusion. "It's not a plane, and it's not a fire. I don't know what it is." Sergeant Jim Peniston, a seasoned officer known for his calm demeanor, was dispatched to investigate alongside Burroughs and two other men. They drove a jeep to the edge of the forest and ventured on foot into the trees, armed with flashlights and sidearms. As they approached, the light grew brighter. It wasn't steady like a beacon, nor erratic like a fire, it pulsed rhythmically, casting shifting shadows across the forest floor. "It's like it's alive," Peniston muttered, his breath visible in the frigid air. When they finally reached the source, all four men froze. There, in a small clearing, hovered an object unlike anything they had ever seen. The craft was triangular, about 3 meters wide and 2 meters tall, with a smooth, black surface that seemed to absorb the light around it. Strange symbols glowed faintly along its sides, indecipherable glyphs that looked both ancient and futuristic. The air around it was electric, and the silence was deafening, broken only by the crackle of their radios, which emitted bursts of static. Peniston, driven by a mixture of fear and curiosity, took a step closer. "It's warm," he whispered, his gloved hand brushing the surface of the craft. "It's smooth, but not like metal. It feels alive." As he touched it, the symbols lit up more intensely, and an overwhelming sensation flooded his mind. He later described it as a stream of binary code, ones and zeros flashing in his consciousness, too fast to comprehend. He stumbled back, shaken, as the craft emitted a low hum and began to ascend. Slowly at first, then with a burst of speed that defied physics, it vanished into the sky, leaving the men in stunned silence. The following morning, Christmas Day, Peniston and his team returned to the clearing with senior officers. What they found confirmed that what they had seen wasn't a hallucination. The ground bore 3 distinct triangular impressions, as though something heavy had rested there. The soil was scorched, and the radiation levels were abnormally high. Peniston, despite the fear of ridicule, documented everything. He sketched the craft, noted the glowing symbols, and recorded every detail he could remember. "This isn't over," he told Burroughs. "We haven't seen the last of it." 2 nights later, on December 27th, the forest came alive again. This time, it was Lieutenant Colonel Charles Halt, the deputy base commander, who witnessed the phenomenon. Halt had heard the rumors and was skeptical, but when his men reported flashing lights in the forest, he decided to investigate personally. Accompanied by a small team, Halt ventured into Rendlesham with a tape recorder, a Geiger counter, and a healthy dose of doubt. What he saw that night would forever change his perspective. "We're seeing lights moving through the trees," Halt said into the recorder, his voice calm but strained. "They're pulsating, red, blue, and white. It's not a star. It's too low, and it's moving too fast." The lights danced erratically, zigzagging through the forest in ways no human-made craft could. At one point, a bright beam shot down from one of the objects, illuminating the ground as though it were daylight. "It's scanning us," Halt whispered. As they followed the lights deeper into the forest, the air grew colder, and their equipment began to malfunction. Their Geiger counter spiked, detecting radiation levels well above normal. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the lights vanished, leaving the men disoriented and shaken. When they returned to the base, they discovered something even more unsettling. Every watch and piece of electronic equipment they carried had lost exactly 45 minutes. News of the incident spread quickly within the base, despite orders to remain silent. The official explanation was that the lights had been caused by the nearby Orford Ness lighthouse, but those who had been in the forest knew better. Peniston, unable to shake the memory of the binary code, began to transcribe it. The process took days, and when he was finished, he had pages upon pages of ones and zeros. Years later, when the code was analyzed, it revealed a cryptic message. Exploration of humanity. Continuous for planetary advance. Origin 52 degrees 09 apostrophe 42.532 and 13 degrees 13 apostrophe 12.69 W. The coordinates pointed to an ancient underwater site near Ireland, adding another layer of mystery to an already baffling event. The Rendlesham Forest Incident remains one of the most compelling UFO cases in history, not only because of the credible witnesses involved but also because of the physical evidence and the bizarre details that defy conventional explanation. Was it extraterrestrial? Many believe the craft and its occupants were not of this earth, citing the advanced technology and the symbols as proof. A military experiment? Skeptics argue it could have been a secret test gone awry, though this theory fails to explain the binary code or the witnesses' missing time. A natural phenomenon? The lighthouse explanation has been widely debunked, as the sightings occurred in multiple locations far from the lighthouse's reach. Over the years, the Rendlesham Forest Incident has been the subject of countless documentaries, books, and debates. Colonel Halt himself became a vocal advocate for UFO disclosure, insisting that what he saw was real. The government can say what it wants, he said in a 2010 interview. I know what I saw, and it wasn't from this planet. For Peniston, Burroughs, and the others, the memory of that Christmas night remains vivid. It wasn't just lights in the sky, Peniston once said. It was contact. And it changed everything. Do you think the Rendlesham Forest Incident was a genuine extraterrestrial encounter, or could there be another explanation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who love unraveling the mysteries of the universe.